The names Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow have become synonymous with danger, romance, and crime, a compelling cocktail that has enraptured audiences for decades. Their saga, dripping in both fact and myth, began in the tumultuous early 1990s, an era scarred by economic depressions and overflowing with disillusionment, laid the perfect backdrop for their audacious journey through criminal infamy. Bonnie Elizabeth Parker was a small town girl from Texas who indulged in poetry and harbored dreams of becoming an actress. Clyde Chestnut Barrow, on the other hand, was a farm boy who turned to crime early, driven by poverty and a society lacking opportunities for him. Their paths crossed in May 30 at a friend's gathering, and it was reportedly love at first sight, but their relationship would be far from ordinary. Bonnie and Clyde did not choose a path of roses. Instead, they found themselves spiraling into a cycle of crime that would lead them to both notoriety and a tragic end. Between 1901 and 1934, Bonnie and Clyde embarked on a crime spree that would captivate the nation. They were not just criminals. They became an emblem of rebellion against an unfair system. The duo, along with their gang, orchestrated a series of bank robberies across the central United States. However, their crimes were not limited to mere theft. They were accused of numerous murders, primarily of police officers and individuals standing in their way. Despite their notorious activities, they seemed to constantly evade capture, which only added to their growing legend. The allure of Bonnie and Clyde wasn't just in their acts of defiance, but also in their dynamic as a couple. They were seen as partners in both love and crime, a union that transcended ordinary boundaries. Bonnie, often remembered for her petite frame and striking appearance, was every bit the equal to Clyde. Unlike common assumptions of the era, she actively participated in confrontations, wielded guns, and shared in the decision-making. Yet, perhaps, what immortalizes Bonnie and Clyde the most is the humanity within their inhumanity. There were stories of them being generous to those in need, and their resistance against the authorities, which resonated with the public's sentiment towards a corrupt establishment. The end of Bonnie and Clyde was as dramatic as their lives had been. On May 23, 1934, the duo met their demise in a high-profile ambush by law enforcement officers on a rural Louisiana road. A hail of bullets, fired without discretion, ensured that they would never again evade capture. Their deaths marked the conclusion of a spellbinding narrative, but also cemented their legacy as a part of American folklore. Bonnie and Clyde's story is more than a mere retelling of criminal exploits. It is a reflection source of an era, revealing the complexities of human nature, love, and defiance. Their legacy continues to echo through time, reminding us of the thin line between villainy and heroism. In the end, Bonnie and Clyde were as much victims of their circumstances as they were architects of their fate, a poignant reminder of the duality inherent in every human story.